Hello everyone, welcome back. We are on episode 16 of our What If Civilization Started Over scenario. In the last episode, we saw the end of the Classical Age with the fall of the Yellow Team in Europe and the restoration of many of these new countries, but also the fall of the Green Team over here in Central Asia, which is a huge religious success as this green religion is now going to be able to do a lot of things it couldn't before because the green team kind of pressured it to stay in its weird theocratic state. Now, before I do get into this video, I do want to say that I have been doing all these videos in one take, so I want to try to do this one in one take. This helps me to spend less time editing, and it allows me to spend more time recording these videos, which I just enjoy doing so much. So, yeah, let's jump right on into this video. And yeah, in the last episode, a lot of major things happened. And yeah, I do want to announce now that we are in the Dark Ages, the first half of the Middle Ages. This first half is going to be called the Dark Ages. The second half, I'm probably going to call it the Medieval Era. Um, that's probably what it's going to be called. Otherwise, it's probably going to be Middle Ages or Medieval Times or Medieval Period. I don't know. It's going to be something. But all I know is we're in the Dark Age right now. And yeah, our equivalent to the Holy Roman Empire throughout a lot of this is going to go ahead and be the British Isles, which is where we're going to start today. And that's with the collapse of a few of the remaining power countries in this region. Starting off in the United Kingdom area, we're going to see a country declaring its independence in the Northern Britain area. This country is a completely new country and it will be getting its independence from this weird tan thing. From here, we head on over to this Cornwall country, which will be losing control over most of their land, which will become this country here. And I'm not going to give all these guys capitals because that would make this area way too chaotic. So yeah, we're not going to be doing that. Now from here, we head on over to Ireland, where we're going to see a whole bunch of new regions gaining independence, starting off with this region here, the largest new state in Ireland. That looked weird for a second. And from here, we're going to add a new country in this area here. And I'm going to make their borders absolutely atrocious, as you know. And from here, we're going to add another country here. And then let's add a few darker countries around, like one in the bottom of this uh, weird goldish thing. And this gray thing, it needs to be shrunk down quite a bit. So maybe we should add a country like this that takes over most of the territory without accidentally coloring in other countries. From here, we're going to add in a pinkish colored country up in this region here. And yeah, this is kind of weird to draw in live, but it's also kind of fun to do in a way because yeah, it's just a whole bunch of random colors and I'm just picking them all on the spot. And yeah, this will be pretty bad for civilization in this area because it's going to prevent it from developing in any way. And these guys are kind of going to get stuck behind a lot of the rest of the world. And for now, that's going to do it for the dividing of this region, because now we get to head on over elsewhere, more particularly to the Eastern European region here, because a lot of exploration has been going on, and a lot of Russia is going to get explored at this point. They know about a lot of this area up to areas like the Volga and now the southern area of the Urals, and they're going to be trying to expand into some of these areas. Starting off with this country down here, they're not going to do much, but they're going to expand ever so slightly towards this as they will be expanding into these regions here. From here, we get to talk about the pink team for the first time in forever because they're going to be expanding into this region. They're taking initiative. They want to expand their land, and they haven't been able to much quite at all because they've been losing a lot of land whenever they expand. So they're going to take it lightly. They're not going to expand all too much, but they will expand nonetheless. From here, we're going to see this Russian country expanding. That's what they do the best, and it's what their favorite thing in the world probably is. So yeah, we're going to see this Russian country expanding. I hate these borders I just drew in, so I might adjust them after my mouse stops doing that. I hate when it does that. It just randomly zooms in and it just ruins my day, honestly. But yeah, we're gonna create borders that look something like what I've just created here, as well as this. I'm definitely gonna change this, but for now, we're gonna see a country filling in this gap in this space here. As yeah, that's why I was making these borders, because I don't want this new country to look absolutely horrendous. And yeah, this country will kind of be the uh replacement country for the Archangels country in actual WICSO. So yeah, we have a large red country in Europe now, and that is pleasing my eyes a lot. I like that. And yeah, from here, we head on over to Central Asia, where we're going to finally finish the border of the orange team in this region here, because they're going to be stopped from expansion by a brand new country. And this new country will be in the Central Asian region here. And it's going to be somewhat of like a dark beige beige-ish colored country, and they're going to be a pretty large country, expanding all the way over here into the areas of far Eastern Europe, and they're going to expand pretty high up as well. This will be a very weird Kazakh kind of country forming here, and yeah, that's a pretty big country. And from here, we're going to see yet another new country forming. This country will be I want to make it like this kind of dark, really like light dark red-ish thing. I don't think that looks well though, so I might make it like maybe a bluish. I don't know what I want to do with this color here. Maybe like I don't it's hard to make colors for regions that have a whole bunch of weird abstract colors, but I think I might actually go with like a greenish like this. I think I like that for now. If I want to change anything, I can. Or I could alternatively just make it like a grayish color, and that's a little easier to scale. Actually, I think I'm going to do that. That looks pretty cool. And yeah, from here, I'm going to leave this region because this dark purple guy, they're going to be slightly expanding, ever so slightly. And they're going to be expanding down this way, first of all, and then they're going to be extending this thing they have outwards to where it's larger, and then they're going to expand this area of theirs a little more. So they're kind of embracing the shape a little more. And that's kind of my doing. I made the shapes something I really thought looked pretty cool, and now it's just the shape of this country, probably permanently until I get rid of them. And yeah, let's ignore that country because this Central Asian area is now being explored a lot faster now that the green team is gone and kind of preventing that. So yeah, we're gonna see a few new countries forming here. The first new one will ironically be a green colored country, as they're going to be forming up in this region where the green team was kind of preventing the expansion into. Their northern neighbors were too scared to expand into them because they thought the green team would invade them. They never ended up doing anything, but yeah. From here, we're going to see a brand new purple country forming to the north of this. I know there's a lot of purple in this region, but I feel like this region could use a lot of purple. And you know what? I'll make it blue, so it's not like purple overload, but like it's not too bad. So yeah, we have new countries in that region here. And yeah, these areas are getting pretty close to linking up, as yeah, they're nearing each other pretty quickly. And maybe even by the next episode, we could see the linking of the world back together. But now we talk about the Kazakh kind of country, because they're going to kind of be curving around this land here into regions of the Kyrgyz kind of country and expanding outward into this region here. And yeah, that's about all they're going to be doing, as they're the only country who hasn't done something yet. And yeah, I think I like these borders. From here, we're going to see these regions by the Himalayas being explored a little more. And now we're going to see these countries expanding northwards to it. Starting off with this guy here, they're going to expand northwards in a very weird fashion, as they're going to kind of aim to more so isolate this guy off, as they're going to expand in a way around this thing. The red country will expand into that region, but they're not really going to fall into the trap as they begin to expand more north as well, as they now begin to do the exact same thing to the east. From here, we're going to see the cyan country beginning to expand as well. And yeah, they're going to just expand something like this. This country's pretty irrelevant. They're probably going to be gone in a couple episodes. So, yeah. I should probably not say that. This could somehow be the one viewer's favorite country, and I could be slandering it. Sorry, Cyan Team. I'll let you live for a little while. And, yeah. I think that's all I wanted to update this region wise, but as you can see, the areas in Asia that aren't fully explored are lessening. And we're going to continue on that actually as we head on over to the Manchurian region here, because this blue country is going to go ahead and expand a lot because they've been not doing anything for the past few episodes and they have existed. And yeah, now they're gonna do stuff. They're gonna be kind of cut off by the Koreans again, though, as they're gonna take Sakhalin, and from here they're also gonna take the Kuril Islands. And yeah, the Koreans are kind of just being jerks, but who really cares? Heading down to the Philippines, we're gonna see our first civilizations being set up here, as we're gonna see a very light bluish kind of country forming up here in the northern Philippines. And yeah, from here, we're going to see yet another new country forming. This country will be this like dark purplish thing in the center area here. And yeah, I'm going to give this island here over to this guy. And finally, we're going to see a final state in the Philippines, which will be like this green color here. And now the Philippines will be fully claimed. And I'm just creating a whole bunch of new countries this video is all I'm really doing. And yeah, let's continue that where it's probably needed the most because I don't like how this area looks right now. Africa is going to finally get filled in almost entirely. And yeah, we're going to embrace some of these borders because I like how they look. This one reminds me of Chad, but we're going to see this area moving down as we're going to see all these areas here getting claimed by the yellow team. And in turn, we're going to see regions like this area being claimed by the purplish country here. From here, we're going to see the Zambian kind of thing expanding southward into more regions, and that will eventually cause their borders to look like this. And from here, we're going to see this Namibian kind of country embracing their borders and kind of just making the same shape further north, except they're going to expand a lot more outwards into these territories here. They're going to become a lot larger. From here, we're going to see a brand new country forming in this region here. It's going to be this very dark-ish, I want to make it a blue kind of, but there's already a dark blue in this region, so maybe like this kind of color here. Maybe a little more gray, like, I think that works. And yeah, from here, this area in the middle is going to get divided between a few of the existing countries. Starting off, the orange country will be annexing a lot of the land, making a very ugly border. And from here, their neighbor to the east will be annexing a few of the areas as well, as they will annex this weird looking area here and making their border look like this. That is ugly. And from here, we're going to see the green team annexing the rest, making the border look somehow even worse. And at this point, we're going to see one last country forming in the center area here. And this country will probably be the least populated of every single new country that's formed here, because, of course, they're the last to form, but they're also kind of the most remote. They're in the middle of nowhere, and I really don't think there's anything useful out in this area. From here, we're going to see the remaining region over here getting divided, as this region in the south will be going to the teal country here, and a lot of the region will be going over to the pink team. But they're not going to be gaining the entirety of it, as it's going to be split between them and a few other countries. More particularly, we're going to see it being split between them, the dark blue Zambian kind of country, and a tiny bit with the purple northern Mozambique country, which will eventually make this area look like this. From here, we have this region here, which is going to see a very similar treatment, as it's going to get divided between all the new countries that have formed throughout the past few episodes, including some of this one. And the first country to make a move is the new gray country, who will annex all this land here. And from here, we're going to see the second largest bit. Actually, this might be the largest bit, going to the dark blue Zambian country here, as they're going to annex all of, not all of it, but they're going to be annexing all this. And from here, the dark purple country will be annexing the rest, which makes this area of South Africa look like this and makes it look much better. From here, we're not done because we're going to see this Angolan country expanding their border up here to the north, which will now make their border look something like this. And I think that looks cooler. From here, though, I'm going to change this border slightly to make this area more sharp. And from here, we're going to see this yellow country expanding up northward into this area here, where eventually they will stop, but they're going to gain a lot of land, and they're going to become pretty big, encompassing all this here. And yeah, from here, I'm going to stop with this expansion because there are definitely going to be more countries here in the future, and I don't want to take away from those new countries that will form, so this is what we're going to leave off with. And I know that a lot of these guys don't have capitals yet, so let's give them capitals. Starting off with, I think, the oldest one that doesn't have a capital, which is the Green Namibian country, will get their capital all the way up here. From here, the orange country will have their capital here, purple here, teal here, another purple one here, the gray one here, this dark purple one up here, the yellow team by Lake Tanganyika, the Zambian one by Lake Malawi, and I think that is it as for these guys here. And now I'm going to talk about water exploration because I haven't talked about that in a bit because, well, it's been a bit since much of it happened, but there has been a lot of exploration elsewhere, so we can actually see all these waters being explored, including around areas like Sao Tome. Eventually, they're going to reach Cabo Verde as well, and this island here, Madeira, I think it's called. And eventually, regions like the Faroe Islands will be discovered, and now the naval knowledge and technology is getting a lot better, and this whole area up here has been explored. They've explored up to this area in Siberia from Korea's stuff, and in Indonesia, they've explored a lot of the islands that exist over here, and have explored all the way over to New Guinea. Land-wise, however, they haven't explored it entirely, as they've only explored up to areas like Timor and Sulawesi, not inland for many of these islands. And yeah, the most important thing we need to talk about, though, is the finding of Madagascar, where this thing has been just kind of been ignored by me. It probably would have been discovered a lot earlier, but we're only going to see it getting explored now, and that's to my fault. And just for that, we're going to get them a country now, even though they probably want to have a country for a while longer, but we're going to see a country forming here, and don't forget the capital. They're going to get their capital over here in this region up here. From here, we're going to head on over to the Indonesian islands again, because these guys are going to be finishing off their island claims. This guy will be claiming all Borneo, and the Java island country will be claiming all Java, as well as Bali there. And from here, we need to place capitals on the Philippine island countries, because those guys don't have capitals. So yeah, bop, bop, bop. And now, I think that is every single country who needs a capital. There are actually a lot that still need it. And yeah, let's quickly place those about in these brand new countries, because this video is ending. And yeah, I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. It's probably a little bit of a shorter one, but that's because this video is meant to be a shorter one. It's kind of recovering from how much longer the last one was and how more important it was. But yeah, we're going to see a whole bunch of new civilizations forming, and that's going to be it. And I do want to say before we start that I have been trying to do these videos all in one take, so yeah, it spends less time that I have to do making edits to this video, and it allows me to record more videos, which is honestly just more fun, and yeah, I like recording. So yeah, let's jump right on into this. Now let's start off over here in kind of the cradle of civilization, Mesopotamia, because something bad will be happening here. The red team is, they're really old, and they don't really have anything going for them anymore. The country is kind of in a free fall. And this will be heavily sped up as we head on over to this dark greenish Azeri country because they're going to launch an invasion into the red team. Azeri forces will very quickly move into this mountainous region here, invading into. Actually, is this mountainous? I think it is. It's like northern Persia, I think. But yeah, we're gonna see the Azeris quickly occupying all this land here, and from here they're basically gonna force a peace deal out of the red team, which is kind of humiliating because this thing is a lot smaller than you, and like, yeah, this thing should not have been able to take you on. Also, what's going on? I always have to adjust everything, and I forget to before recording videos, so everything looks weird. But yeah, we're going to see this territory up in the north being lost by the red team. So they're going to kind of just begin to fall apart because the whole country doesn't believe they're competent to do anything. The first region that will break away will be over here by the Egyptian country, as we're going to see a dark purplish country breaking away in this kind of. I don't know what this region's really called, and I'm struggling to draw borders in apparently, but yeah, we're gonna see a country breaking away over here in this region here, which is kind of like a Syria, Lebanon-ish, Jordan area. It's a weird area to define, but we're gonna see a country formulating over there. From here, we head on up to the north, where we're going to see this brownish country here going ahead and expanding southward into this region here. Not much of an expansion in the grand scheme of things, but this country, given their size, it is a pretty big expansion. And from here, we're going to see this thing kind of just falling into multiple pieces. The next country that will be breaking away will be in the southern region. It's going to take on this bluish kind of color, and yeah, it's gonna be kind of a desert state. I don't really know again what this region looks like. So it might just be like a piece of just nothing is here. And yeah, I wanna know. From here we're gonna see one last country, and I'm struggling to find a color for it. I always do, but I think I'm gonna settle on this kind of color here, which it kind of looks nice, but it also kind of looks out of place here. Let me know. I might change it. And yeah, with this, the red team is tiny, like really tiny, and these countries will be getting their capitals. And yeah, I am on the wrong layer. Great. Anyways, the Syrian country will get theirs in Lebanon. This desert country will get theirs right there. This guy will get theirs on the coastline. And that will actually do it for these guys for now. Actually, I'm gonna recolor this guy now because I don't like this color. I'm gonna do like no, kind of like uh, it's a weird color to do. I think I'm gonna go with something like I don't want it to be that blue. Maybe like that. I feel like I'm gonna roll with that for now. Anyways, from here we're going to head on over to this region over here, where this brown country is like very tiny. It's barely a civilization. And from here, it's kind of just going to get partitioned. The orange country will kind of just move in and say this area that we are occupying is now a part of us. Then we're going to see the pink team doing the exact same thing with this kind of southern region here. And then the green team will kind of do that with a teensy bit of the land here. And finally, that leaves the blue team to take the rest of it, which effectively gets rid of this thing from existence. And yeah, sorry if that was your favorite country. It was never gonna last. And from here, we can actually add a major city to the map for once. That never happens, but I mean, it's never a good thing when it happens because I have to do it in the middle of the video, and also have to erase a capital, which takes some time, as you can see. But there we go. And now to disable the layer. I'm trying to make sure I don't lose any of these major cities to time because it'd be great to have them once the major cities are actually relevant. But now we're going to head away from this area and right on over to the British Isles, where we're going to see a whole bunch of war and conflict happening. More particularly, we're heading on over to the Welsh countries, where we're going to see this light blue country going to war with the pink country. It's pretty back and forth at first, but eventually the light blue country will gain an upper hand and will push down through this region here. From here, they're just going to squeeze this thing to death. And at this point, there's really no, like, stopping the full annexation of this, so they're kind of just going to fully annex it without any punishment. So, yeah, good on you, Northern Welsh country. From here, though, we're going to head on over to Ireland, because this thing is about to become a bloodbath. Great. Anyways, from here, we're going to see the Cyanish thing getting conquered by this neighbor thing. That country was on a downfall, and this country, which I think gained its independence from the Cyan thing, is going to take it over. But from here, we're going to see more war happening, as this goldish kind of colored country will take out the brown country. And from here, we're going to see this red country taking out this light greenish country. In the north, we're going to see that the goldish team here will wipe out this guy, and the green team will wipe out this red thing. And from here, that's actually all we're going to see happening in Ireland for now, because Ireland is kind of irrelevant to where we are in the series. I mean, it's just like the Daily Britain update, but not really. Anyways, from here, we head on over to Russia, or kind of Russia. It's weird. It's like maybe Russia, where we're going to see something happening. And that is a revolution from deep within the country. And this is pretty bad for the country because they are not built to withstand a revolution. So yeah, when it kind of just happens, the government's gonna kind of just be like, okay, you can have your independence, and the government's kind of just gonna fall back to the areas that are still somewhat loyal to them. Over here, I'm struggling to make borders. These borders look weird, but I think I'm gonna roll with this. So now we have this thing, and this thing will kind of just unite with this guy. It's a weird thing that happens, but eventually that is what's gonna happen. And from here, we're gonna see more countries taking advantage of this new Russian country. First of all, the pink team. Yeah, the only really obvious one. They're gonna take over some territory in the south here that they had maybe had some claims over in the past. And that's actually it. Nobody else really cares. Huh. From here, we are going to leave this region because we're heading on down to Africa. Yeah, we've been talking about this region a lot recently. But that is because we have this region to divide here. It's been bothering me, so let's figure this out. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward actually, because the borders I created here were kind of meant to be temporary, and now that they have served their purpose, we can go ahead and actually make borders which function. And so that's going to be exactly what I'm doing here. And yeah, the Ethiopian Somalian country kind of thing will annex all this land here into this mainland kind of border I've created here. And from here, this Eritrean country will annex this small bit of land here. They're a lot thicker than Eritrea in our timeline, but who cares? And from here, that's actually all. Nothing else happens in this region for now, because we're heading on over to this region where barely anything happens, but we're gonna see that this orange country is going to expand pretty far northward, because at this point, they're probably one of the strongest countries in the region. I feel like I should talk about this region more, but I honestly don't really know what to do with it. From here, we head on over to the Senegalese country, which will have a very similar kind of change that I'm enacting here. I just don't really know what to do with them, so I'm kind of just doing whatever I can think of on the spot with them, which is just expanding their borders out. But from here, we're gonna see the formation of a brand new state. In this new state, they can be like this yellow color. They're gonna be a pretty vast country. They're gonna encompass a lot of the area bordering these states over here, and they're going to push out into the middle of the Sahara. And the whole purpose I'm creating this country is actually for something that I've been meaning to implement for quite a while now. And that is none other than trade routes. And trade routes, they haven't been mentioned, I don't think once, But now we get to talk about them, and that's kind of going to be the main premise of this video. But yeah, we need to talk about trade routes because guess what? The Silk Road's probably about to be created in one of the next few episodes, so we gotta get this down now. Anyways, from here, we're gonna start off over here in Europe because the trade routes are pretty simple here. Starting off over here in Iberia, the trade routes will flow through all of the capitals of these countries, and it's gonna kind of just become a circle around Iberia, and it's also going to have the attachment like right under the mountains here. And yeah, that's it for the Iberian area. And from here, it's going to head up to the capital of the French country, then to the capital of Brittany. And that's kind of an offshoot because it also goes all the way up to the Dutch capital here. From here, we're going to head back down because this route here is going to travel through the southern region and eventually through this capital here. From here, it splits off into Venice and also into the capital of Rome. And from here, it's not going to go any further south. And instead, it's going to follow the Mediterranean Adriatic Sea countries into Greece. As well as that, they're going to flow on over into Bulgaria and the Romanian kind of country here. At this point, it links up with the Crimean country, who also has a route that's being built over this way. From here, we get to talk about this route up here because it doesn't really go anywhere much other than the two major cities in the former Polish countries. But other than that, there's not much really going on with that trade route. From here, though, we have another little attachment, and that is the attachment into Anatolia, where we're going to see this connecting up here. Time to enable major cities, because it's going to flow right through this major city up here, and eventually through the coastline in the Caucasian area. From here, it splits off to this guy, and also it goes along the southern coast of Anatolia to many of these cities until it inevitably reaches Egypt. From here, it also moves into the city, and of course, into the core Mesopotamian area, where it kind of just flows along the river valley over here. As well as that, it's going to kind of just begin to flow down into these major cities here as I just do this. And yeah, I don't feel like there's much explanation that needs to be made. This thing's just going to kind of go all the way around the Arabian Peninsula. And eventually, it's going to circle back where this is now the map of the Arabian trade route we're looking at. From here, we head on over to Africa, where it's going to split into two. The first route, we're going to see it crossing North Africa and going through all of these countries all the way till it makes its way over to the Moroccan country here, and it's not meant to go into the sea. That's not what it's meant to look like. It's meant to look something like this, and it's kind of hard to repair, but I'm trying. And from here, it's not going to expand anywhere south because there's going to be a new trade route being constructed for that, which we'll see here in a second. But first, the trade route in the Eastern African area, it's only going to make its way down to the capital of Eritrea. And that is actually all the trade routes in Africa, because these guys, they're kind of just close enough to where they can kind of just move wherever they want. And they don't see a purpose in trade routes, at least not yet. When it comes to like navally, they definitely will, but from here, it's not really important. But now we head on over to Asia, more particularly South Asia, where we're going to see the area flowing through first this Persian capital, but also it's going to move through the former capital of the Green Team and this Gold country, and eventually into this dark purple country here. From here, it's going to flow into the capital of the Brown Team, and from here, it's kind of just going to bop across India through here, and it's also going to have a small detachment going down into this country here, and over here into Bangladesh. At this point, the trade route will make its way into Burma, where it will stop. And another trade route exists over here in Vietnam that connects up to the South Chinese countries, except for this red one, and eventually to the capital of China. From here, this trade route moves on up into the Korean country where it will stop. And that is actually all the trade routes that exist in the world right now. And that's all we're going to talk about them for now. They'll come back up later. But for now, we need to head on over to India, where we're going to see a major event happening because this is like a really dark purple. The really dark purple country will be declaring war on the Indian country here. And by the Indian country here, I mean the brown team. The brown team has existed for a while, and don't get me wrong, they're pretty relevant to the story, but like, I really don't like this color for the region, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. The dark purple country will immediately take its capital, and from here, the people are just done with this thing, so they're just kinda gonna accept their new leader. But at this point, a major event will happen that will begin to shift the balance of power in this region. And this is kind of already being seen because there are now two large Indian states who have united most of what the former Brown team was and a little areas that are outside of where it was. But at this point, these two countries have reached an agreement, and that agreement is to form the Indian Union between the two of them, taking on the color of the dark purple country, or the darker purple country, and also the capital of the darker purple country. Gotta make sure I have this major city, which I do for once. That is rare. But yeah, they're gonna take on the capital of the darker purple country, and this country will also take on the military alliance of the darker purple country. And this thing is probably at this point one of the strongest countries in the world, given that it just formed. And it's gonna probably go on some conquests in the next few episodes. But yeah, this new empire will be the I don't know. It's kind of hard to name empires when the only term I can really use is Indian, when really the Indian Empire was the Brown team. So yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about, but you know what? It will make sense somehow. But yeah, the second Indian Empire is here. See? I did it. It's gonna be called the Second Indian Empire. There we go. I could do that with like China, the second Chinese dynasty, if this one ever dies. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with China though. I honestly have no idea. From here, we're gonna leave Asia and head on over to Europe because yeah, this area has been kind of just silent in the episode, so let's do something. And that something has to do with the Norwegian kind of country, because they're going to go ahead and take the Faroe Islands. From here, they're going to use it to explore outwards because they believe Europe's not done yet. And they would be right, as they're going to discover the island of Iceland. From here, they're going to go ahead and they're just going to kind of take it, and they're going to settle it pretty easily. And from here, they're going to begin to theorize of what could possibly be beyond this point. And yeah, this is, if you're not getting this, the beginning of the discovery of North America, which is definitely going to happen sometime soon, but nowhere near actually. So yeah, just keep this in mind. Anyways, we are coming on to the 20-minute mark here. So we're going to have one last event in this episode. In that event, I actually have no idea what I'm going to do, but I feel like we should head down into this region here because this region here is pretty bland. So let's create a brand new country. And this new country is going to be like a yellowish country because I don't feel like there's enough yellow in this region. So yeah, we're creating a new yellow. If I can figure out what kind of yellow I want to use. I think I'm going to use like this color. But yeah, we're going to see a new yellow country forming in this region. It's going to be kind of built off the other South Chinese states in this area. And yeah, this new country will look something like this. I'm kind of hating how they look, but it's also not a bad look for what I have planned for this region, even though I don't really have much planned. It's kind of like enough to where it's not like absolutely horrendous. But yeah, let's go ahead and give this thing a capital, which their capital is going to be up here in this area here. And that's actually going to do it for today's video, and I really hope you all did enjoy. If you made it this far into the video, make sure you do subscribe. It really shows your support. And yeah, liking the video also helps out a lot. It shows that you like this video and you would like to see more of the content like this. And yeah, yesterday I uploaded a WICSO video, which is the day I'm recording this. Today I'm uploading a video, the day this is going up. There's going to be yet another episode tomorrow, and then another one Monday. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of WICSO within the next few days, and just that enough will not be enough to end this little arc here. This arc will be ending on probably Saturday, the 11th of April. So this arc's going to be probably the longest arc we have yet. So yeah, stay tuned because this arc is probably going to be, it's not going to have like a big ending because the next arc after this is kind of the second part of it because we're in the Dark Ages. There's kind of like the first half of the medieval times because the Middle Ages, of course, and yeah, the first half to I think like 900 is the Dark Ages, and after that, it's just gonna kind of become the rest of the medieval times. I cannot find like an actual name for the period. It's just Dark Ages as a part of the medieval times. So yeah, I don't really know if there's an actual definition for that time period. So this mini movie is probably going to be called the Dark Age, and then the next one's going to be called the Medieval Era. I don't know though. So yeah, I do want to say that this arc will be going on quite a while, and at the end of it, we're going to see this linking. So throughout the next few episodes, we're going to be working on the trade routes layer, just little by little, not all too much at once. Like last episode we did a lot, and yeah, we're going to be like touching up with this. Maybe not today, but throughout this, we're going to do it pretty frequently. But now let's jump right on into the scenario. And we're going to actually start off in an area I don't think I have started off an episode in, and that is China, because China is not in a good situation right now. The Chinese country is experiencing a lot of unrest, and it's like crazy. The people are not satisfied with the government, and then there's kind of just a rebellion happening over here in this inner area, and this rebellion will like become really popular, and I don't know what's happening here. Oh, there's something on another layer. I'll have to figure that out later, but yeah, we're gonna see this rebellion really quickly getting power in the inner areas here, and I'm actually gonna shift the color to be a little more prominent, I guess is the word. And these guys are gonna cut across this northern area, and they're kind of just gonna assume this area here as part of them. From here, they're gonna move through the southern area pretty easily, and at this point, the main government of the Chinese country is cooked, and they're gonna get obliterated. And I'm realizing now that this color is impossible to see. So how about we roll with this kind of color, like this. And I think maybe this will work. Yeah, I like this. And immediately upon getting a brand new government, this country's gonna go on a little bit of a expansionist spree. Starting off down here with this thing. This thing's existed for a while. And it's gonna be put out of its poor little misery. It's existed for far too long, and it's done absolutely nothing. So it's just gonna get removed. I'll leave their capital there for now because I need to place a major city there. And yeah, they're not going to be stopping there because they also want to expand up into this area for some reason. And so they're going to be targeting this light pinkish kind of thing. I don't really know what it is, but yeah, they're going to be targeting this thing. And they're going to very quickly wipe it out. It's not very populated whatsoever, and it's just going to kind of fall over to them. And the Chinese country is kind of just going to like say, oh, this is our like greatest accomplishment ever. We got to keep expanding. And so they kind of just will. We head over to this area here. We're going to see a lot getting explored. The Chinese are pretty insistent on this getting explored, and so it will, except for the Tibetan Plateau, of course. That's kind of impossible for these guys to explore at this point. But we're going to see the orangish Chinese dynasty thing. They're going to expand over into this region here, creating this new region here, which I actually like the shape of. If only that was like its own country. That's something like the kind of shape I would use to make a country. But yeah, we're gonna see that forming. But as well as that, we're gonna kind of see a state forming out of China. It's gonna be like really associated with China, but it's like also loosely connected. All the people here come from China, but they're basically just gonna create a country here, and it's, yeah, just gonna be there. Also, there's a lot of red in this region, maybe like a dark-ish blue kind of color. I like that. To be fair, there's just a lot of color in this region. Also, there's so many colors. It's hard to find original colors here. It's like impossible. But now I'm going to go ahead and place the major cities on this map so I can make sure China doesn't have 3 capitals, because that would not make sense. And yeah, I think with that, not that, wrong button. But yeah, here we go. And I forgot to say this at the beginning of the episode, but I'm trying to do all these videos in one take, if you can see. And yeah, it's going pretty well so far. Anyways, from here, we can turn that layer off because we are heading away from China, because China we're going to check up later, not this episode though. And we're heading right down on over here to Indonesia, where we're going to see a new state being established. This new state will be a purplish country. A whole bunch of people from the other Indonesian islands probably just came over here and established this country. From here, this country will help facilitate the exploration of many of these islands over here to the east of it. And yeah, very quickly, they're going to begin to discover all these islands. More particularly, they're going to begin to explore the island of New Guinea, which has been uncharted as of yet. And now, they're beginning to go into Oceanian kind of territory. We don't want to do that yet, because I don't want to have 50 civilizations there. Quite yet. Just, yeah, you guys chill. Anyways, from here, we're going to head on up here, because these guys are going to expand all the way up into this region here. But not yet, though, because we got to explore it first. And yeah, we're going to see this exploration coming pretty rapidly, as the Korean country will help facilitate this, because they've been kind of not doing anything, and they want to do stuff. So yeah, they're going to do stuff. And yeah, we're going to start off with their expansion, as they're going to go ahead and set up a little kind of colony in the Kamchatka Peninsula. But if there's nobody here, is it really much of a colony? I know that still makes the definition, but like, they barely have any of their people here. So, like, is it really? It's not even that far. So, like, yeah. From here, we're going to head on over to the Manchurian country, because we are creating a brand new border for this thing, because this northern border is pretty lame, if I gotta be real. So we're going to create this border that I've just created here. And yeah, I like this so much better. It adds a lot of personality to this thing, which hadn't done anything before. I'm also gonna like reshade it, because it looks too close to the water. As you can see, it's changing the water whenever I try to reshade it. Maybe something like this more so. I like that color, and I think that's the color I'm gonna use for that country from now on. Anyways, from here we can go ahead and check the expansion of all these other countries, because they're gonna be doing that too. And yeah, I had to put a little more explore. I didn't really want to do that, but we're gonna do that. Starting off with this, I don't know what color this is, but it's this guy. They're gonna be exploring quite a bit, or expanding quite a bit, into the areas north of them. They're gonna take a lot of land, although they probably have one of the smaller populations out of these guys. From here, we're gonna check up with this red guy, who's not gonna be getting much, just this little area here. I like their shape. I don't really want to change it, so that's kind of my solution. From here, we head down to these guys over here, and we're going to see the light blue country getting the most land out of this, because they're the most populated, and they kind of control a lot of the populations kind of these other states. It's weird to describe. It's kind of like the main community of all these guys, and it's as if these guys are barely countries of their own. I mean, they are definitely, but like, they kind of operate out of this thing. Similar to how the Mongol Empire had Khanates, it's similar to that, but they're not really nomadic. And yeah, we're gonna see this area kind of just going to that guy. And from here, we check up with this guy, which I'm not gonna expand southward for now, because I don't want to have to get into that, but we're gonna expand them over to the west here, because they have expanded into this region here. Anyways, that's it for these guys. they've gone a little bit chunkier. But now we are heading on over to this region here, which has had absolutely nothing happen in quite a bit. Um, there was this country that formed a few episodes ago. I have no idea when that happened. But yeah, we want to actually have stuff happening here. And so we're going to see something very similar happening to what just happened over to the east. We're going to see these guys exploring northward, and they're going to be doing stuff. Starting off with this red thing, they're going to go ahead and create new boundaries for themselves so they can go ahead and explore out into this new area and possibly take some of it for themselves. And they will be doing exactly that, as they will be taking all this land here. That is a pretty healthy amount of land. And as well as that, they're going to be followed by this new weird Russian thing. This new Russian thing will very quickly begin to expand into territory that they probably are expanding really far out into and probably shouldn't expand into. But they're going to do it anyway because nobody can object. This thing has become ginormous really quickly. And they're going to gain a border with this weird colored thing. I don't know what color this is. It's like a weird light yellowish, maybe. Yeah, we're going to see them expanding as well. They're going to expand into a lot of this area here. More particularly, they're going to create a shape that is like this. I'm trying to make them not look absolutely horrendous, and that did not work. I think the solution to that has to be down here. I'm going to change what their border looks like. Just pretend it always looked like this, or like create your own story for it. But we're creating a brand new border here. And this yellow team's going to be shrunken down just a teensy bit. They're going to lose a little bit of land by their capital. And I think, no, I still don't like this. You know what? We're making a new country. Just pulling one out of nowhere. I didn't have anything planned, so now we're making plans on the spot. And so we're going to create a brand new country, and it's going to be in this region in the south here. And this thing is pretty small, I want to say. Not really, but it's going to become pretty I'm having a hard time like thinking of how big this is. It's like, how big is this? And also, this does not even fix this shape. This shape is absolutely horrible. Maybe I should just get rid of this country. Maybe, like, if I do this, give that to the gray country, maybe that helps. Oh, it kind of does. And then, like, give some of this thing back. Like, this. Oh, yeah, that works. And then maybe, like, have the red country like move over in this area here and take some of this land. I think maybe that would work. I'm coming up with solutions on the spot here. I'm a genius. There we go. That looks so much better. And yeah, this thing, I'm gonna figure out what to do with them at a later date. But for now, we're just gonna chill with these borders. And yeah. I mean chill by like tolerate. From here, we're going to head on down to India, where we're going to see a war happening, because this Indian country is not going to take any rest time. And instead, they're going to be invading into this weird maroonish country here, because they exist. Forces will very quickly outnumber this country's, and they're just going to get obliterated off the face of the earth. And from here, we're going to see them getting completely annexed. I'll come back to the capital like I did with China, but yeah, that thing's gone. The purple-ish, like really dark purple country is just gonna completely obliterate it off the map. From here, we're gonna leave that country and head on over to Britain, because we need to update Britain for our daily kind of Britain update. And yeah, let's start off in Cornwall, why don't we? Because we're gonna see a union happening. The only union that will probably ever happen in this region. And yeah, let's cherish it, because we're gonna see these two Cornwall countries here uniting into one state. And I hate this color. Let's just give them a magenta or something like that. I don't even think there's magenta here. No, there isn't. Not even in the Irish area either. Okay, so we have this magenta color. Anyways, moving up to Scotland, we're gonna see that this Northern Scottish kingdom's going to split into two, and they're gonna see that their western region will break away and form their own new country. That's it for that region. And now we head down to this region here where we're going to see this light pinkish country conquering this light yellowish banana country. Yay. Great. Heading on over to Ireland, we're going to see much of the same as this green country will wipe out this maroonish country and this gray country. And we're going to see this reddish thing wiping out three different tiny countries. From here, we're going to see that this country, I don't know what color it is going to wipe out this blue country. And that is the update for this region. From here, we can talk about this guy again. This guy who formed in the last episode, because they are kind of disliked. Why are they disliked? Because, well, let's head on over to the religion map. They follow the religion of the gold kind of thing, but they're kind of not religious. It's like if you were like not devoted to a religion, but you were like, "Oh, I'm part of that religion." And at this kind of time in the middle of the Dark Ages, you're not going to be liked for that. And so the pink team will basically say, "Yo, you should fix yourself or we're going to fix you." And so yeah, that's going to cause some trouble because these guys don't want to fix themselves. And so we're going to see the pink team launching an invasion into the newly formed Russian state. And they're going to very quickly just swipe the capital. They're going to deal a lot of damage early on in this war. And eventually, they're going to take literally all the valuable land that this country has. And they're going to basically say, yo, we told you, you should just accept religion and like use it. But the Russian country is not for that. And so when the peace treaty rolls around and the pink team backs out of most of this territory, we're going to see a major change. And that is that the capital of the Russian country will be taken over by the pink team. And yeah, the Russians really like their capital. And so with all this territory in the south falling over to the pink team, we're now going to see them having to move their capital elsewhere. Thankfully, we have a new major city that's just going to spawn out of the middle of nowhere, this one right here, that they can move their capital to. And I want to have it centered, so maybe like there, actually. And then we can just move the capital like such over to this new major city. I like that. And yeah, Russia is mad that the Ukrainians kind of just took their capital. So they're gonna kind of just begin to spread hate. I mean, religiously, this time period is not in your favor, but that will do something. And that will cause the separation of this religion into kind of its own thing. And it's completely like it's kind of hard to define, but we're gonna see a just completely new religion forming out of this. Not completely new. It's gonna be a new section of it, and it's gonna kind of just take over Russia. And as well as this, it's gonna persist in some of these areas in northern Ukraine, in which they took territory. And from here, it's gonna kind of just move into this region here that they just claimed. And so this is our new religion map. They're now 4 yellow colors, and that's weird. Anyways, staying on this layer, we head down to this area because we're creating yet another yellow color. And this is kind of a peaceful split, and it's more so like syncretic like stuff happening. And we're basically going to see a whole bunch of syncretic values being introduced for a lot of these African countries here. More like specifically the areas outside of the main Tunisian area here are going to kind of fall into this new religion little thing. It's a lot closer to the yellow religion than any of the other religious parts, even the Finnish one, which is more close than the Greek one. But yeah, this new religion will form. And from it, we kind of see a lot of unity happening in this region. And so we're going to see some new borders being created in this desert region because they kind of are just united religiously. And we're going to start off with Morocco because Morocco has been wanting to expand, and I've been wanting to expand them. And now I have the perfect opportunity to do exactly that. And yeah, we're going to create a very large border for the Moroccan country. And I'm not really liking it actually. Maybe if I like make it go down in a way in this area here, like that or something, maybe it'll look better. Yeah, I like that. And from here, we're gonna see the Senegalese country taking this and actually gonna do like something like this in this region because simply I like the border of this weird yellow blob I created last episode. And yeah, this is the new border of the Moroccan country. But remember, this guy is also in on that religion kind of thing. And so we're going to see them getting new, deeper borders as well. This one's a little weirder to do because it's kind of just the middle of the desert. And yeah, they're just going to kind of say, oh, we control this land now. And yeah, we have new borders for this guy. Great. I want to fill in a lot of this area, but it's kind of weird to do so. So I'm trying to do it as kind of subtly as possible, but not really. It's really weird to do, but it's also fun to do. So like, yeah. Anyways, I think that's actually gonna do it for today's video. We're at the 20-minute mark. And yeah, I really want to record these for longer, but unfortunately, the YouTube algorithm doesn't prefer videos that are 40 minutes long, so those get less views. But yeah, I do want to thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did make it this far, make sure you like the video and subscribe. Subscribing shows that you, of course, enjoyed the video, and liking more particular shows that you enjoy this type of video and you would like to see more. So if you like this video, it tells me to make more of these videos in the series and to keep it going. And yeah. Anyways, since the last episode, I've done a few things. More so, I have uh, place major cities where every single capital is for whenever we add major cities. And also, I have gone ahead and added the provinces and outlines for some regions. This is here from some time ago. I like kept the green team's borders because I like them. But other than that, we have Britain done, and then this I just started. I'm probably gonna save the rest of the provinces for maybe a live stream. I don't know. I might not have time for that, but yeah, we'll see. Anyways, from here, let's actually look at the scenario and see what happens today. And I do want to say that um, the Dark Ages mini movie will be ending on the 22nd episode of the series. So yeah, we're about halfway through this arc now, or a little over halfway. I don't know. I forget when this arc started. But yeah, without further ado, no more shenanigans of me yapping. Let's jump into this. And we're going to start over in the British Isles with our daily British Isles update. Because we're heading on over to this red thing because it's going to fall apart. And yeah, this is kind of to be seen. And hey, we can use our province map for this. I almost didn't use it there. But we're going to see the independence of... What the hell? We're going to see the independence of this thing. And very quickly, it's going to kind of find itself getting beaten up by their neighbors. The blue team's going to take this province here in the south, and this magenta-y kind of, I don't know what color that is. It's like a dark pink, actually. Is going to take a lot of the inner territory here, and from here, this purple country will become very small. At this point, we move on over to the Northern Irish area, who's going to go ahead and fully integrate this gold country here into their state. And at this point, we're kind of seeing that Northern Ireland is a lot more unified than Southern Ireland is. And this will be represented furthermore because this guy is about to fall apart. If I do remember correctly, this thing conquered the former state that was here. And yeah, now that state's gone, but now you are also gone. And yeah, this guy will lose this guy in the east, this cyanish color in the kind of west, and then in the center, we're going to see a new state taking over, which will be of this color here. From here, we're going to see other stuff happening, more so in the center of Ireland. as we're going to see these two unifying together into this kind of color country. Anyways, that's it for Ireland. Now we head on over to the British Isles, where there are way too many capitals, and I forgot to erase one of them, but now we can go ahead and see what happens here today, which is a whole bunch of nothing, except two countries will make moves. First country making a move is the light blue country. We'll go ahead and get rid of this dark green guy here. They're going to invade right in, and then they're going to just take it over a few days later. And then from here, we go on over to the pink country. We'll go ahead and launch an invasion into the orange country, and they're going to get rid of that guy. So now these two countries are no more, and the British part of the Isles is becoming a lot more united than the Irish one is. And yeah, we're gonna see how that will inevitably end in episode 22 because yeah, I don't want to be doing these updates for forever. So yeah. Anyways, from here we are leaving this area and heading on over to where did I have in mind? Here to Turkey because we're gonna see a war breaking out, and this is between the pinkish colored country and the bluish guy. And I'm gonna keep this border here because maybe I want it in the future. I might do this throughout some of the next few episodes before we have the full season mini movie thing done. But for now, we're just gonna have this. And yeah, we're gonna see this pink country declaring war on their neighbor, and they want to just take as much land as possible because they're scared of this Anatolian Union thing that is kind of on their border. And yeah, this thing's hatred for everything is going to be represented here as they're just going to kind of destroy anything and everything. From here, we're going to see a treaty being devised, which does not treat this blue thing like well at all. And yeah, their capital's not in the right country. So yeah, from here we're gonna have to create a brand new capital for them, which will be up here on this northern coast here. And yeah, at least they still get to be a country, right? But I don't know what's happening here with the like top of this major city. But yeah, we can go ahead and fix that. There we go. That looked weird. I don't know what happened. Anyways, we can go ahead and disable that because these two are now rivals with each other, and we're going to see more of that later on, just not today. Anyways, we now head down to Africa, where we're going to see some changes here, more specifically over in West Africa, because I've been neglecting this region, and I probably shouldn't neglect this region because it's pretty historically significant, especially about at this time, so let's talk about it. And more specifically, this region is bothering me, so we're going to create a brand new country in this region. Why not? And this new country will be like a weird, just amalgamate. It's going to be this region here, but it's like weird. Anyways, I don't know how to define a country like this. It's just going to kind of form from a whole bunch of people coming from the surrounding countries into it. From here, we're going to see much of the same happening in this area down here, as we're going to see yet another brand new country forming. And colors, colors, colors. I never have any colors for this. I think I want to go with this like kind of bluish purple here. I don't know though. It looks kind of meh, but I do kind of like it, especially the shape. I think I'm going to keep that. But from here, we're going to see another new country forming, which is a completely vastly different color. I'm going to use a brown here. This country will consist of a lot of the area that has been just not touched yet, but now will be, as this area will unite into one country, including this island, which has not been explored yet for some reason, South America. And as well as that, it's going to take this island here, which is having some problems for some reason. And yeah, now Africa has kind of come full circle. But we're not done here yet, because we're going to see another country forming over in this region here. And that will be a just pure red country because I'm running out of colors. And this country will kind of just have a weird border because I feel like this area doesn't have enough uniqueness, and that kind of adds to it in a way. And I feel like that needs to be something here. I'm running out of words, as you can tell. I've been recording a lot today, and it's just not been going well for me. Anyways, from here, this corridor thing exists, and I want to get rid of it. So we're going to be doing exactly that. This yellow team will get a little bit of land out of it. Not all too much, but they will be getting land. From here, I guess I'll give it to the red team, because it would look weird a part of the brown team. I kind of like this. I might adjust your color over here, this brown guy. Might make them a darker one instead of a lighter, because there's already same sort of tone. Maybe if I like make it more gray. Yeah, I like that. And yeah, from here, I think we're just gonna keep making more countries because this region is kind of empty and I don't want it to be empty. And yeah, from here we're gonna add a brand new blue kind of country, and this guy is gonna have a border with the Nigerian country, and yeah, I think that's a wacky enough border. There we go. From here, I don't think there are enough pink countries here, so we're gonna create a pink country as well. And this guy will have another wacky kind of border because, yeah, I like curved borders for some reason. Anyways, from here we have an obvious region for a country to be created, and why not use like a purple for this one? Not like a light one, but like maybe a medium kind of purple color here. And now we have yet another new country to fill a gap here. And Africa is coming along pretty great, except I don't want to do all this in one episode. And plus, the rest of this is kind of desert, so we're going to ignore the rest of that for now. And we're going to leave Africa alone, heading on over to Asia, where we're going to see some of this same kind of stuff happening. More so over in this region, which is barely Asia, but let's cover it really quickly because it needs to be covered, and I don't want to forget about this, so we're going to do this now. And this won't really be seen through the formation of many new countries per se, but rather the expansion of a few old ones. More so, the Russian country will be expanding into a lot of this region here as they will reach this peninsula, and they will also begin to block off this guy here as they're going to take over a lot of this land, becoming probably the largest country on this map. Maybe, I don't know. China's giving them a run for their money, as well as India. But yeah, they're a pretty big country at this point. And as well as that, we can go ahead and see that their neighbor country, this red guy, will be annexing this region here, which makes them another contender for largest country. But Russia alone, this area is a lot larger than them. But yeah, now we can talk about brand new countries in this region because we're going to see quite a bit of them. Starting off over here, we're going to create like, I don't know what kind of color to use because there's so many colors. But I think I don't think I've used this color yet, so I think I'm gonna try and use this kind of shade of bluish. I don't know. I feel like I've used it maybe, but yeah. There's a new country there, and I'm running out of words once again. This video is probably gonna be the worst of every single episode I've recorded so far because it's like just yapping and it's not feeling as fun to record. But anyways, that's enough of that. Yeah, see, I'm messing up my words here. I've just recorded so much today already. But yeah, we're gonna see the Kazakh country expanding up to this area here. And this thing I'm actually gonna redraw because I hate these borders. And why not just expand them into area that we have not explored yet? Because that's a good idea. And I might kind of go off the borders I've already drawn in here just a little bit. Like something like this looks a little better. Not perfect, but better. Maybe like give them a little land out of this here, and then maybe they're done. Yeah, I like that. I really like that. And from here, we're going to see the exploration of this region beginning to ramp up again because, yeah, these guys are pretty close to meeting on either side of this, and the area unknown is thinning. Thinning. I don't know words anymore. They're just not in my brain. Anyways, from here, we're going to head over to this kind of type at region where we're going to see a lot more of this getting explored. Not like the mountains, but like the areas that are not as bad. Especially over here, we're going to see a lot of this getting explored as it's much easier to explore into. And at this point, we have a lot of land open, and it looks like I'm just purposefully waiting for this. Trust me, I'm not. I really want to get rid of this line here. Like, it looks so much better if it was like this, but if I did that, then it would make so many different things that I don't want to have to do yet. So, yeah, we're going to ignore this. Hopefully, be able to not gouge our eyes out. And from here, we can go ahead and look at the other side of this because the other side of this is not as weird looking. Like this Central Asian area, it's like not colorful. Like it's just a whole bunch of like weird darker scale countries, and it's not like I don't like this. Anyways, from here, we can go ahead and leave that hell of a place and move on over to this region of Southeast Asia because we're going to see these guys expanding. Starting off with the Myanmar kind of country, they're going to expand northwards into a lot of this region here, as they see it as basically the only opportunity for expansion. And yeah, they're going to use that opportunity. From here, this yellow country will also take this opportunity, but only in the south region because I like their borders. That's my reason. Also, it looks like it's like a guy screaming, and this is like his tongue or something. I don't know. It looks like he has like two different tongues or something like that. I don't know. I just like how this thing looks. Anyways, from here we can go ahead and create a brand new state in this region, which I want it to be like a darker country. So I'm going to create like a dark pinkish color maybe, but I'm going to like embrace this kind of border again as I did down there. And I think this looks pretty cool. Anyways, from here, I'm going to create yet another new country. And this one's going to kind of just be me creating a country to create a country because there doesn't need to be a country there. And yeah, now Asia's looking a little better in my opinion, but we can still do a little better because this region is looking pretty empty. And a country will be taking this opportunity, and that is this pink country here, who will go ahead and expand down into this territory here. And I'm going to create one of these lines that I've been liking ever since I started this video right here, as they're going to begin to expand down into this region pretty rapidly, as they probably shouldn't be expanding all this much so fast, but they will. Anyways, from here, we're going to see this weird country here taking the rest of this land, which cuts this green guy off from expanding. That's unfortunate, but I don't really care because I don't really like this green guy. It's not anything personal, but I just don't like him. Anyways, from here, that's enough yapping about that region, because now we're heading down to Indonesia, because this blue thing is going to go ahead and take over all this, and this purple thing will go ahead and take over all of this. And now they begin to approach areas like New Guinea, which haven't been quite colonized by humanity yet. From here, honestly don't have plans. I should really start planning these episodes in advance. But yeah, anyways, I'm just gonna do it. This is bothering me so much. We're gonna get rid of the line. It's just, I gotta get it. I know what I said earlier doesn't line up with that, but I gotta get rid of the line. And yeah, from here, things will become vastly different as the two worlds have connected. This I didn't have planned till after episode 22, but recording this made me realize that this definitely would have happened before episode 22 had I not purposely hindered it. So, yeah, we're going to be looking at this, and I'm trying to get colors that make Central Asia look better. Like maybe a yellow could work. Maybe like a greenish color. Maybe like a reddish. Maybe if it had like a red, a green, and a yellow, maybe it would look better. But I don't know. Maybe I just need to reshade these guys, which I think I might do. Starting with you, most obviously. Then maybe we can like make you a bluish, I don't know. We're gonna leave you for now, but I'm gonna change that guy's color. And maybe even yours, because I feel like this one's an easy one to change as well. We can just do like that or something. And yeah, I like that actually, so we're gonna do that. Anyways, back to this. We're gonna create some new countries here, because why not? And I'm just gonna create a darker color of this, because why not? And yeah, from here we're gonna see this new country immediately linking the two worlds. This guy is pretty important because literally any trade that would happen through this region would have to go through this guy. So this new country is kind of like in WICSO, I forget what country it was, but it was like connecting everything. I think it might have been like uh, funny thing that it's the same color, but like the Tanatuvan country that eventually became the tiny little guy that existed there for a while. But yeah, it linked the two worlds like this, and I think it might have been that guy. I think it was. But now we have this same kind of link forming, and we can go ahead and look at trade routes. Because now we're going to see these trade routes rapidly beginning to develop, because now there's a reason for them to develop, especially in this kind of region. And yeah, let's look at this because first of all, we're heading over to the Azeri area because these guys have been expanding their trade routes into the Central Asian region already because they've kind of become a hub in this region as it's very easy to kind of like move around the Caspian from their territory. But from here, it will move out of the orange team into the kind of Kazakh country here along the southern area of this lake, then straight through this guy. Then it kind of just begins to move through the areas here, moving down to that capital, then through there, then your capital, and then it kind of just begins to move south, down, down, down. And yeah, that is the Silk Road that just got created. It wouldn't be created that fast, but I want to get it over with so we can talk about it in the next episode. From here, we're going to head on over to the Russian area because trade routes have been building over here too, as we're going to see a trade route going straight from the main Polish capital here to this Russian capital here. From here, the trade route that goes to the pink team and through Russia will link up in this gray guy, then going through you, then down to that capital. And yeah, I'm just linking trade routes now because that's all I feel like I can do at this point. And yeah, I'm sorry if this episode's like horrible quality. I just didn't know what to do. My brain didn't like click, and it usually does. Anyways, now trade is connected in most areas, except for down here for some reason. I feel like this would have definitely been connected already, but we're going to see exactly that happening as it's going to have to go through a lot of this area down here because jungles in the area. So, yeah. From here, Africa probably wouldn't have much of trade going on, but if so, it would definitely look something like this. And then there's, of course, the gold trade, so there'd be a trade route probably running along here. I'm gonna work on that a little, well, like, because there's cities here already, and it just kind of probably move up to the Nile area here, linking up in Egypt. And yeah, I think that is gonna do it for today's video, because I've got to record more. I'm like worn. I didn't want to record this episode now, especially. But yeah, hopefully this next episode is not this bad because I was just out of ideas today. And yeah, that's and I'm going to start over here in the Chinese region because one country that formed last episode is going to go ahead and only last one episode in this series. If you guessed the green country, you would absolutely be correct because that country will go ahead and join their northern neighbor in this guy, I guess. I don't know what kind of blue this is. All I know it's blue. And these guys will get capitals soon. I just gotta actually remember to do that. Anyways, from here we're leaving that region already, and we are heading on over to Europe because this region doesn't have much going on in it anymore. Let's do some things. Starting off, we're gonna head on over to like kind of Europe, where we have this gray country thing. And this country has done nothing in its entire existence, and it's going to continue doing nothing because it's gonna be removed from the map. And by removed, I mean invaded, because the grayish kind of Russian country, I don't know what's going on here. The grayish Russian country will send their forces in, which will severely overwhelm this gray country here, and they're going to lose their capital pretty early on in this conflict. From here, we're going to see this yellowish kind of colored country sending their forces in as well into the area around their capital because they want to make sure their capital is not easily seizable. And yeah, that's probably a good idea given that it's like almost on the border of the gray country. From here, however, we're going to see most of the northern part of this country falling, At this point, we're going to see um, that this southern area is gonna kind of just stop being a country. And it's kind of weird because it's in that one area where if I give it to any country, it's gonna look weird. So how about we just kind of like partition it? So let's start off with the Azeri kind of country here. They're gonna be getting a little bit of land in the south here. Not too much because then it would look weird. And that's all they're gonna be getting. From here, I'm not gonna give this guy too much land, the teal team. So we're just gonna be basically doing the exact same thing we did for the last one, and just slightly expanding this guy to something like that, per se. From here, this guy here, they're gonna get like kind of the rest of the land here. It's gonna look weird. They're the one probably gonna have the most like ugly borders. Yeah, I don't really like how this looks, but sometimes that happens. Anyways, from here, we're going to see the pink team getting some of this land as well, as they're going to extend their border over here, taking this kind of familiar shape. It looks like Baden-Württemberg from Germany. Anyways, from here, we're going to see that the yellow country will be dividing the rest of this land with the Russian kind of state. It kind of is Russia, so I'm not going to deny that it is. And yeah, from here, we see new borders being created in which the yellow team will annex actually quite a bit of land. And I want to make sure I'm doing this right. And from here, the northern part will go to Russia. And this is our new map for this region. I don't like how these two are like stretching across and linking with each other. Um, that might be fixed soon. I don't know. Maybe. I'm probably gonna forget about that. Anyways, from here we're going to go over to the British Isles, where we're going to have our updates for this region. Starting off, forgive me, but I just forget to update the capitals for England. And yeah, we're going to see a lot happening here today, so let's get rid of all of these. And I'll leave yours, actually, because yeah, we are creating a couple of unions. First of all, Cornwall's going to unify. I'm going to use that color so it stands out more. And from here, we're going to see this tealish kind of country uniting these two other countries here into a kind of Central English Federation thingy. It looks weird on the map, but you know what? You do you. From here, we head over to the north, where we're going to see the English country launching an invasion into the kind of lavendery color country. This country doesn't stand much of a chance and will get obliterated off the map. That sounds about right. And as for the capital, it's not a capital anymore. And yeah, that's all for Britain today. Now we head over to Ireland, where it's a completely different story, because we're going to see one country in the south is finally beginning to prevail over the others. And that country is this kind of gold country who's going to knock out the blue, that color, and the purple country down here. And now we're kind of seeing two different countries from two different sides of Ireland finally beginning to unite their halves. And this is seen as the Green Irish country will go ahead and fully incorporate the Grey Northern Irish kind of country into their side of Ireland. Anyways, from here, we're going to see division happening as this province in the southern region of this guy here, this region here, is going to go ahead and break away. And they will have this beautiful normal red color because I'm running out of colors and I don't want to waste them all on Ireland. So we're going to see that kind of color forming. Anyways, from here, we are going to leave Ireland because I don't want to stay here forever. And yeah, I'm not the kind of guy who wants to force daily Britain update kind of stuff. But yeah. You know what? I'm just not even gonna talk about it because then it's gonna sound like I hate it, which for some reason the community is like they love it so much. Anyways, from here we head on over to Anatolia, where we're gonna see a massive war breaking out. As the Anatolian kind of union here, this guy who formed from the country here, this guy here, and this guy here, is mad at this guy for attacking this guy. And the reason for that is they believe they're the protector of this guy for some reason. Make up a reason, I don't know. And they want to go ahead and get rid of this guy. And unfortunately for me, I forgot to recreate this border on the provinces layer, which I'm going to do because I really like how this border looks. And just in case I ever want to use it again, I will have it at my disposal. So I'm just gonna kind of do this really quickly. I really wish I could have remembered to do this after last episode, but I didn't. Like a lot of the stuff I've done earlier in the series, which we'll touch back to later, but not now. Anyways, from here, we're gonna see war happening, as I kind of hinted to. I might have said it, I don't know. I have short-term memory loss, so yeah. Anyways, from here, the Anatolian Union country will go ahead and get the head start, as they're gonna completely kick the pink team out of this southern area here, which is probably the easiest thing they're gonna do. Let's be real here. And from here, they're going to continue down this little coastline here, seeing a lot of success. The pink team is not a complete push round, as we head over to the northern area here, where they're going to deal a lot of damage to the central region here, taking a lot of territory away, more than these guys have actually occupied at this point. And from here, they're going to begin to squeeze out the coastal regions in the north. So, yeah, it's kind of evenly matched, but these guys are kind of just going straight for the kill. These guys are not too focused on getting the capital of the red kind of country. So yeah, let's see how that goes for them. And it's looking kind of scary because their capital is right there now. And as for these guys, they're only slowing down as they're kind of running out of space in this area that they kind of blocked off. And from here, a counteroffensive will happen, which kind of makes one straight front line, which is unfortunate for this guy because that's kind of all they had going for them. From here, the Anatolians will go on side quests, and by side quests, I mean invading Cyprus. And from here, they will take the capital of the Anatolian kind of southern state, I guess. And from here, this thing's just gonna collapse. And yeah. From here, we're going to see the red team will fully annex this guy. Okay. And thankfully, as I think I stated in the last one, I have all the cities now on this map. And also, unfortunately, some of them I went over twice, meaning I just have really fat cities in some places. And it's bothering me. I'm going to be fixing them whenever I see them, but I might miss some, and if I do, feel free to point them out because I will go ahead and fix them. Something I will also go ahead and fix is this random blue island I just found over here by Greece. I don't know why it's blue. I don't remember a blue country being there, but you know what? Who knows? Anyways, from here, I'm going to disable major cities because that's not really something we're worried about yet. Because we are heading on over to this guy now, because this guy is just going to join up with the Union. Maybe because they plan to before, maybe because they just want to now. Who knows? But now, the entirety of the Anatolian Peninsula is unified under one country, I believe for the first time. The red team might have done it, but I think the yellow team broke away before they could unify the entire thing. I don't know, but I think this is the first time. I might have to go back and check. Very early on in the series it would have happened, because for the longest time there was the greenish country and there was the bluish kind of country down here. I like how I just didn't pick a blue. Anyways, that's enough of Turkey history. Maybe it'll come up in the future, not now. Just know that this thing is a union, and I think Greece is as well. I might be wrong. I don't know. Anyways, we're leaving this region because now we are heading on over to the Indian subcontinent, because the dark purple Indian Empire, or I think it's the second Indian Empire, is going to go ahead and launch an invasion into the brown country here, taking over a lot of their southern territory very quickly. And yeah, let's be real here. The brown team has no chance here, and they're going to lose their capital. From here, all their coastline will fall, and goodbye. It's not like I said cosine. This is not geometry class. Get that out of your head, bro. Anyways, from here, the whole country will be annexed, which is a huge blow to, like, this whole region, because now you're certainly gonna be killed. And you're definitely on the chopping block too, so yeah. I really like this color in Bangladesh, so even if I do get rid of them, I'm saving this color. Because I might put it somewhere else or might bring this country back. Who knows? I might not even get rid of the country. Who knows? I don't know what I have planned. Anyways, from here, we head over to the alliances layer for the first time in a while. Because, yeah, something's going to be happening with this shape. India will be leaving the Diamond Alliance, so they're not, like, obligated to protect these three states anymore. And yeah, these three states are kind of mad at that. But they're also not really surprised. That country only joined so they could join in on the jumping of the green team. And now that the green team's gone, they're kind of just gonna be chill. And from here, we're going to see further change within members of this little alliance here, because we're gonna go ahead and see that this maroonish kind of state here is going to go ahead and join up with the Persian country to their west, and hence they're also not a part of the alliance anymore. From here, we're just going to kind of see these two mutually agreeing to get rid of the alliance, and I'm also going to make a change here. I'm gonna give these guys a small coastline because or coastline on the Caspian at least, because I feel like they would have that at least. And in turn, I'm gonna change this border up here after accidentally zooming really deep into it. But I'm gonna change this border slightly so that this country gets its fair share of land, I guess. And that will be that chunk of land, I guess. So yeah, good for you. You have slightly more land. I don't think that's going to change anything in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, just know that we now have no alliance in this region, and that Persia has united for the most part, except technically you. I don't know. We'll talk about you in a future episode, but not now. But anyways, from here we have something important to talk about. And this is something I've kind of been ignoring, also something that I can't display for some reason. There we go. Yeah, this religion. We haven't talked about this in actually some time. And so let's do that. Starting off over here with the purple religion. This religion has spread like a wildfire, not on the pink country on the other layer. Not talking about you, but we're talking about this religion. And it's going to kind of follow the lines of borders here, as I'm going to use this as kind of a template. The purple religion has expanded out into these areas of China here, and it's kind of just, I don't know, expanding. It might be, who knows. I'm running out of words once again. I'm just trying to yap while I'm figuring out where I want to put this border. But yeah, we're going to have this border somewhat around here. From here, the Korean branch of this religion, and yeah, it's gonna be hard to see. That's my fault. But yeah, we're gonna see the Korean, Japanese kind of branch of this religion make its way all the way over here to the Kamchatka Peninsula and all the way through Manchuria here. From here, the South Chinese kind of Vietnamese part of the religion will take over, not take over, it will spread to this region. Following this, we're going to see the Indian part of the Green religion spreading throughout most of their northern territory up towards the Himalayas. I don't know exactly where the Himalayas are, so that might not be true. But from here, they're going to continue spreading elsewhere in Indonesia because why wouldn't it? Yeah, you can tell when I'm like out of words. And from here, we're going to see the Philippines kind of becoming split between religions, more so the South Chinese religion and the Indian religion. Anyways, from here we head over to this part of Central Asia because we're going to see the normal or central green religion expanding for once, now encompassing this whole region here. And from here, the dark green branch of the religion will spread even greater, now linking up with the purple religion in Central Asia, and also having all this land here. It's going to look really weird, but yeah, it's kind of all these guys up here. From here, there are these two bubbles, which will both fall over to European branches of the yellow religion, which now looks like this. And from here, the Russian religion will kind of just curve up through this guy, and it's going to kind of just go through their territory over to this peninsula here, as well as this island and these ones hinting at what's going to happen in the future. I just don't want to have to come back to that. From here, the Finnish religion will spread into this region here, and the Dutch kind of blue religion will spread into Iceland and Svalbard, which I haven't colored in yet, but it's going to eventually, so might as well do that now. From here, yeah, this is gonna take a while to do, so let's just start that off. Over here in the West, with the African religion here, we're going to see the light yellow religion being able to expand inwards to the inner borders of the Cyan team, the Moroccan team, and whatnot. It's going to expand pretty deep into the continent. From here, we're going to see the light red religion here. It's going to expand all the way through Sudan and some of these regions here, but it's going to have trouble expanding as it is to these other regions. So we're going to see another branch of it kind of just making its way all the way over here to West Africa. And from here, it's going to kind of just spread to most of this region as of now. Um, it's kind of hard to like display since there aren't countries throughout the Sahara, but most of these regions do follow this new branch of the religion. And I'm just gonna color in like all the Sahara like this because that's what it looks like. Anyways, from here, I don't think any part of Africa would be following any significant religion. Other than that, we might see one forming in South Africa, but I'm just not going to cover it because it's not going to be relevant. And from here, this is the new religion map we're looking at. And for me, kind of working half blind there, I did a pretty neat job, especially over here in Africa. I like how this looks, especially with this color I created. Anyways, from here, that's all we're going to do on the religion map. Because now, I didn't think this far ahead. I feel like the recording should be like 22 minutes now. But we're gonna deal with this thing. I don't like how this thing looks. So let's deal with it. Starting off, we're gonna kind of just see the orange team and this not Tibet. We're gonna see this guy and the orange team over here kind of just beginning to plan a division of this guy because they don't like this thing existing and controlling the trade. So they want to stop that. And so they're going to kind of just begin an invasion where it's less of an invasion, more so just enforcing new and maybe better borders. Who knows? I don't know at this point. It's just me drawing on a map. It's up to your interpretation whether these borders will be better or not. From here, we're going to see this border being created for this guy for now. It's probably going to change in the next few seconds. And from here, we're going to see the orange team creating a border that looks something like that. And from here, this guy is really bad looking. And they're going to lose control over some territory here. I don't cover stuff like this enough, and I feel like I should. And in the southern and northern regions, they're going to lose a foothold over their territory. From here, we're going to see these guys just kind of forcing new borders on this thing. And it's kind of hard to grasp where this is, but yeah, we're just gonna see them kind of just getting rid of it because honestly, this thing, I don't have words for it. It's that bad. And yeah, bye bye that guy. We're probably gonna see border changes in this region not far out from now because these borders still I don't like. So yeah, you know what? I think the easiest solution for now is to create a new border over here. Think something like doing this would work. And then honestly, maybe just create a new kind of country in this region. I don't know what color to use, so for now I'll use this kind of color here. But we're going to create a new country there. And if you can't tell, this is kind of my equivalent to the Tanatuvan country from normal WICSO. I just like how it was just there. And yeah, and it might be funny if I try and like figure out what I did in the last episode because this map is like I feel like I remember some of the things I did. I feel like there was a country here that I got rid of or something. It was somewhere here. I remember something happening down here. And that's also where we're going to be starting because this border, it's hideous. It's gotta go. And so, yeah, the dark purple country, India, if you want to call it that, will go ahead and launch an invasion into the light blue cyanish colored country. And yeah, this is not gonna go well for the cyan country at all because this Indian country, I probably said it was the strongest in the world at some point, but if I didn't, this is me officially saying it, and it's probably gonna end that way. This country's probably gonna end up as the strongest country if the series does end. But yeah. Anyways, back to the Sign Country, they're gonna get absolutely steamrolled, and yeah, there's no point in like continuing the war. They're gonna get obliterated. I'm pretty sure I already have all capitals with major cities beneath them, so I can just do that. And now that looks so much better. Like that that gives me like that lets me leave, bro. That was bothering me so much when I opened it up for the where I've been video. And yeah, honestly, I just can't talk right now. But like this border was absolutely killing me, and I've been wanting to get rid of it. And now that I have, after 2 months, it feels good. Anyways, let's leave that region and head on over to Indonesia because I feel like I did this for a reason. So let's go ahead and expand on that because this purple country is gonna go ahead and expand right on over to the island of New Guinea. They're kind of just gonna take a little bit of this coastline as well as these islands over here. That's the entire update for Indonesia. Indonesia, I don't think deserves that attention in this era because I don't know anything about actual Indonesia during like the medieval Dark Ages period. So yeah, we're just gonna try and ignore Indonesia. Instead, we're going to Japan because I feel like this should have been independent by now. And so, yeah, Korea. I'm sorry, you're about to get absolutely obliterated. The first country, I guess, to go is going to be the southern island here. I always mix up the names of the islands, so I'm not even gonna try to figure out which one this is. But this one's gonna be leaving the state of Korea Kingdom. I don't probably like a kingdom, but I don't know. Like I never really thought about ideologies around this time period. I was thinking about including ideologies later on, but at this time period, it's weird to think about. Anyways, back to Japan. The next country that will be being released is going to be an ugly one because I feel like there needs to be an ugly one to end the series. I keep saying that like it's guaranteed to end. It's not at all, but like uh, it's probably going to end up that way if I'm going to be realistic here. Because I've got to be motivated as well, and that's going to be a little hard to get unless I get like 5 trillion subscribers from this video. Do it now. Anyways, this new country is absolutely hideous. As I said, I got rid of one problem, now I created another. But from here, we're going to be creating a country that I'm already liking the shape of, even though I haven't even drawn it in. Watch me butcher this, but we're going to draw in a country that looks like this. And I don't think I actually butchered that bad, because this is kind of exactly what I was envisioning. Because now we can go ahead and create yet another state, and this one's probably most likely going to be the most powerful state because it's got this area here, which is probably the most habitable region in Japan. It's where most of the cities in Japan are in real life. And I keep dropping my things all over me. I don't know if that's audible, but if it is, that's embarrassing. From here, just random color, new country, and do like this or something, and that's it for most of that island. I'm kind of just doing things here. Like I said, this is like a test trial run thing. I'm just doing things to do things, honestly. And if this is the way the story progresses, then it's the way the story progresses. So, yeah, last new country will appear in Hokkaido. Am I remembering that wrong? I'm either remembering that perfectly correct and I sound like a genius compared to my knowledge about this island, or I'm stupid. It might be both, but it's impossible to know. And also, yes, they do have this little bit of land here, just to spice things up. Anyways, from here, I'm not gonna bully Korea anymore because um I don't really see why they need to be bullied. But instead, we're gonna bully someone else, and that is tiny states in Ireland, because I remember the whole goal of the Irish kind of Holy Roman Empire kind of border gore was to create multiple large Irish states. And so that's what we're going to be doing here. And this is not going to happen in just this episode, but we're going to see these two states here, actually conquering most of Ireland. And that's going to be the gold team down here, taking out these two countries here first. And then we're going to see the green team up here, wiping out the yellow team and this guy. I intended to do more here. I remember that being the idea, but it's impossible to remember exactly what I wanted to do now, so this is what you got. And I'm probably not going to change it. Like, I've already done it now, I can't really go back. Unless I actually do edit this video, which I'm not going to, so good luck, future me. You're gonna hate this, possibly. I keep, like, changing my mind. I need to stop doing that. Anyways, from here, I know these two Scotlands separated from each other, I think. It might have separated from this one, this green one. But they're gonna unite because I hate this border. And let's be real here. If there are two guys up here, this dude's gonna be large, and we don't want that. Anyways, from there, I think we're done with the British Isles, and we head over to whatever this mess is because I want to deal with this. I kind of like horribly butchered all the borders here, and I don't even know how I managed to do that with like how much time I was given for these episodes. Like, this just looks like a guy screaming with like a little bit of dookie on his head. Like, I can make an outline of it. I'm not going to, but yeah, that's not even where I'm actually gonna edit. I'm editing this guy up here because we're gonna go ahead and see the large Chinese country invading this thing, because why not? There's no point anymore. I don't remember when this country formed. It's probably like 50 years old or something at this point. It's probably a baby, or it's like 5,000 years old or something like that. But either way, this thing is gonna be erased from existence. That was probably always the plan. But yeah, it's part of main China now, and its capital is not so capital anymore. Now, let me check my OBS because we are 11 minutes into this video. I don't really know what to do anymore. I mean, we could do stuff down in Africa, but I feel like I really only need 11 minutes for a test run. And yeah, I feel like that's it. That's gonna do it for today's video. I uh I know it's kind of lackluster, but it kind of just has to happen. I've got to see where this thing's going. If I'm going to be real here, I have no idea when episode 22 is going to come out. I'll probably talk about that in my update video. I'll try to get a grasp of it. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. If you watch this video, good job you, because I don't think anyone's watched like a full episode of my WICSO based on the actual view stats. I mean, episode 5, I think it was episode 5, it had a lot of views, but I mean, most people who click on videos don't watch the whole thing, and I honestly don't know how to check. I don't even know if you can check, but if you can, I'm not going to because I don't want to know the truth. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna stop yapping because I have another video to record. It's not gonna seem like a finale. I don't bet on that at all. But I want it to seem like this series is going to not be continuing. But there are some things I would like to say before this video starts, like if you've been enjoying this series, I don't know how many people that is because 21 did not do too well. But if you've been enjoying this series anyways, do make sure you like and subscribe. It means a lot because I'm making another mapping series sometime soon. I just needed to finish this up. It's been a while since 21 dropped, and I want to do this now just to finish this up so I don't have to worry about it being like there in the long run. So we're just doing this now to wrap up this series because the series, I kind of ruined it in like, I'd say around episode 18, 19. It just kind of felt not like how I wanted it to. So this is what we're working with, and I'm not a fan of it. Other things I do want to say is the chances of this series getting a reboot are there, but I don't want to, again, like place bets on it because I don't know if that's going to happen, and I don't know if I want it to happen. But there are definitely some countries here, mostly these guys over here, that I had concepts for of what I wanted them to do. But that won't be able to happen because obviously series is ending. So let's just wrap some things up here. One more thing I do want to say before I officially start the video is that I do all these in one take, and this is probably going to be the last video I do in one take because if I want to make this like a career opportunity for myself, I've got to actually start editing. And I mean, my thumbnails are fine, but like there's definitely room for improvement, especially for someone like me. So it's an end of an era in two ways. More specifically, this mapping series is ending, and it's also a change for me. Also, one last thing I completely forgot to say is I completely like edited my microphone settings, so this video may sound like completely different than any other content I've uploaded on this channel. Forgive me if it sounds like weird or like muffled in a way. Um, I haven't been able to like test a full video. This is kind of like my trial run because, I mean, this whole series in a way is kind of a trial run to see where this channel can actually go. And it was pretty successful at the beginning, at least. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to stop yapping. Let's just get into this episode. And I know exactly where I want to start, and that is over here in the British Isles because this is an absolute mess. Starting off, I do want to like use the provinces map because that's like the only area I actually put provinces down for. So we're going to be doing that because our first war is happening over here because this dark greenish teal kind of color country is about to get erased off the face of this earth. And the pink country is going to be the one who starts the invasion. Do I remember any of the lore about this region? No. But yeah, we're throwing everything aside anyway, so it's not like it's going to change much. And from here, we're also going to see the Welsh country joining in. They're going to launch an invasion into this country. To be fair, I did have this exact plan with this Welsh country from almost the start. I knew I wanted to have a significant country in this area, but yeah, it's kind of sad that it never could have come to fruition. So this is kind of just me trying to like make my former self happy because if a person starts a WICSO, they have like a few ideas usually when they like go into it. Like they know what they're kind of gonna end up on, like especially with where you start with your countries. But here at least, I more so had a plan for the long run. Like I knew which countries in the long run would become significant, especially for stuff in the New World. Like especially over here in the future eras, I had so many plans. I'm not gonna say any of them because of course I might reboot this. But if I eventually decide on not doing that, I might say them, but I don't know how many people care. So if you want to know, tell me. To be fair, retention at this time has probably dropped a lot, so who knows? Anyways, let's go right on back to this so we can actually draw up a peace treaty because we can actually do that with the provinces in this region. And once again, I'm not going to be editing this, so let's just draw a quick little line there. And there we go. That all goes to the Welsh country. And on the eastern half, the English country here will annex all this. And I know it doesn't really matter, but we can go ahead and erase this capital city. From here, we're just going to take a little adventure on over to the Irish island. I don't really know what Ireland would define itself as because British Isles, I think that's more so me just not knowing what an isle is, honestly. But yeah, we're going to see this area finally uniting. Starting off with the gold country over here, they're going to wipe out the pink country. And from here, the rest of these countries will try to unite into some sort of amalgamate country, more so these four here. But unfortunately, these two will get gobbled up by the green team before they can do any of that. And eventually, a war will break out between the gold team and the reddish country. And after a very long time, the red states, kind of in this thing, will eventually fall over, and Ireland will unite into two states. This was always my plan for this region. And I mean, mission successful, I guess. In my next mapping series, there's definitely some allusion to this specific area. I think maybe also some areas elsewhere on this map have small allusions to this WICSO series, but other than that, I can't think of any right now. I mean, kind of this Azerbaijan kind of country. You'll see what I mean when that series happens. But yeah, there are definitely some subtle references. I mean, not everywhere, but there are definitely some. Anyways, from here, let's go ahead and leave Europe behind because I don't want to do everything in this video in Europe because that would not be fun. So let's head on over to Asia, where this Chinese country is gonna fall because that's what every Chinese country does. So the first state to break away will be a large area in this region here, and it'll be probably the largest breakaway for some time. But then we also have this area up here breaking away. This used to be its own country, I believe. I mean, based on the shape, it looks like it. I might have actually even nailed the color because I feel like a green country would be here. I don't know. I'll have to look back and see if I'm right about either of those things. But yeah, rebellion there. And finally, in the last episode, we got rid of a country up here. It was not this color, but I don't want to bring back its old color because that kind of sucked. So yeah, for a while, we just have these different regions rebelling, and the government will begin to crack down on them. More specifically, they'll see a lot of success against the brown team up here in the north because they recently integrated them and they kind of have a lot of their assets there, anyways. But they also see a lot of success against the purple team, more so because this one doesn't have that much momentum, like at all. And that's until, yeah, that's not a good color. Let me get a better color. But yeah, we're gonna see the southern area down here rebelling. And if you can tell by my voice, I'm making this up on the spot. I didn't have this planned, but I mean, China was probably gonna collapse a few more times in this series if I'm gonna be real here. But this is literally just it happening without me knowing when it would happen. Really, I mean, I guess it would make sense to have it at this time in the series, but once again, I'm just yapping because I don't know what's going on here either. But we will see in the south, the blue team will keep on gaining land, and this will cause other factions to gain a lot of strength, and the green team will be able to fully solidify its independence, even expanding down a little further southward. And from here, China will just fail as a state. It will just completely fail. The military turns against them, and we see a massive region in the center here breaking away and forming a new country. I'm not going to worry about borders here because honestly, I'm probably not too worried about anything in this region from now till the end of the episode. So, yeah, goodbye, China. Let's head on over to Russia, where the main event of this, I guess, in a way, series is going to happen. We're going to see the pink team declaring war on the gray Russian state. And the pink team will immediately see a lot of success. The pink team's probably the strongest country in all of Eastern Europe, or even in a sense, all of Europe, because, I mean, you're kind of a fraud, if I'm going to be real here. But yeah, the pink team is pretty strong, and they're going to put this to great use as they are pretty horizontally spread. Like,
that's a lot of land, horizontally. I think maybe a little more than the Dutch kind of country has over here. It's quite a lot. Because I don't know what I'm trying to say, but that's a long distance. I don't know exactly how long, but they spread a long distance. I mean, Russia, to be fair, is a lot longer, but this is a lot to manage at the same time. And the pink team is managing this whole front at the same time across such a large distance. And that's pretty impressive. And they will see a lot more success in the east than they do in the west because this is the more underpopulated area. And yeah, if you understand how like population density plays into how wars work, then you will know that the less population is in an area, the easier it is to invade typically, unless a country is decently small, but they have like a large city nearby. Like, take, for example, California. If they're facing like a one front war, if their state was like independent or something, they would probably be able to defend the underdefended area or the underpopulated area because of their immense population. But here for this Russian country, their population centers over here and it's also being threatened. So they're not really able to do much about this area getting invaded. And that's going to be a major factor in what happens next because they're just going to kind of up and surrender. And yeah, I'm just gonna draw a wacky border in here because what else am I meant to do? And pink team will gain all that. And the gray Russian country probably is paying tributes now to the pink team because the pink team, I think if I remember correctly, they also have this country as a tribute state. But yeah, they're collecting tributes from a whole bunch of other countries, kind of like how the Mongol Empire did. Just this country's not nomadic, and our equivalent of the Mongol Empire collapsed as it formed. So, yeah, that's not really happening here. Anyways, let's head over on to Western-ish Europe because this gold thing, I don't like it, so let's get rid of it. And the Dutch will gladly answer to my pleas. This country will be erased from existence. Also, I do want to say that the thumbnail has already been made, so it's not going to spoil what happens in the episode. I had that mistake going for me for literally every single episode before this. If I ever reboot the series, I'm not going to have that problem. So, yeah, let's anyways, let's continue because now we are heading on over to this horribly done area of the map. I don't like what I did here at all. And yeah, that's going to cause what's about to happen next. And that is a union between a whole bunch of countries that I probably wouldn't have unionized otherwise. But these, whoa, that's not what I meant to do. Can we go back? Okay. Anyways, now we can go ahead and unite these three countries into one. And I honestly think the capital all the way in the north is realistically the most populated, so let's use that one. And that looks much better. Why didn't I do that before? And honestly, while I'm at it, I might just do that for these guys up here as well. So let's just create a united Poland again, but not under this yellow guy because if I remember correctly, this blue guy broke away from the yellow guy because this city was getting more attention than the actual most populated. So we're gonna see this blue country kind of just taking advantage of all these other breakaway states being in need and kind of just annexing them one by one. And eventually, this is what this country ends up looking like. And it's resembling a certain WICSO country in a way, but that's not really intended. I mean, the color, I mean, that's a dead giveaway, but like, that's not what I intended. Trust me. Anyways, we're 15 minutes in. I don't really know what to do with the rest of this video, but I do want to give this series a proper send off. It deserves it. But realistically, this episode wasn't intended to be that much. It was kind of just meant to be chaos. And I need to stop getting spam messages, otherwise I'm gonna crash out. I cannot focus. I don't know if that's audible, but if it is, I'm gonna crash out because then I might have to edit this video. And I don't want to have to do that, especially for a series that is ending without me giving much of a care. But yeah. Anyways, sorry for the rant. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. Um, proper send off. This series definitely deserves a proper send off, but I'm not really capable of doing that. So I guess me trying to have fun is that. I mean, I am definitely having fun doing this. It's just a whole bunch of chaos on a map. That's what I do. But like, yeah, if you can tell, I don't really know what else to say about this series because I'm just not as deeply in love with it anymore. I'm too focused on the next series and with what that's planned to be. I I really want that to happen over this being brought out like another 100 episodes. Initially, my plan for this was completely unfinished, and World War II was at like episode 75. I don't think I could have lasted that long. Like, I don't know what I thought I was made of, because I'm not made of whatever I thought I was, because I could not do 75 episodes before I could talk about World Wars. No way. No way, Jose. And only being a third of the way there, yeah, no. That's not happening. But I'm gonna stop yapping because I do also still need to make the final episode compilation, whatever era this is in. I think it's the medieval era, either that or the Dark Ages. I forget, but you're gonna see that video hopefully. So I can get all these episodes off my out of my storage because I've had episode I think 16 through 22 all saved on my computer, just waiting for the day when I can actually like combine them all into the compilation for this little arc. I did that for every other bit of this series, and I kind of like unintentionally ran into a road bump with me taking a break, and I kind of just had a whole bunch of long videos in my storage, not going anywhere. And who knows, maybe the fully compiled version will be too much storage for my computer to handle because edited videos are a lot more bytes than normal videos are, and those are already a lot. So I should probably talk a little less, given that that's gonna be a lot. But yeah, that's gonna do it. This has been a blast. Of course, more so at the beginning than now, but we can ignore that and just be happy this happened. I'm more excited for the next series, of course. Like I said in episode 21, when I didn't know when this episode would come out, I don't know when the next series is coming out. I just don't know, but probably soon because I really want to do it. So maybe if you want to see that, get your hopes up because that one's probably coming sooner than I think. Anyways, make sure if you did make it this far that you like and subscribe because yeah, we hit 300 subs. I'm happy about that. I forgot to make a short about it, but I'm happy. Just because I don't make a short means I'm happy. But yeah, that's gonna do it. I need to stop yapping. I have a real big problem about that. And here I'm going on a tangent again. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this series, and I'll see you all in the next one.